Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.
La agrupación TV Priest está lista para mostrar su segundo disco larga duración. Han sido uno de los artistas a seguir en los años recientes. La potencia en su música, la intensidad en sus letras, nos habla de una propuesta musical que ha tenido grandes reseñas y gran presencia, pero para hablarnos de los detalles de este segundo disco en su carrera musical, tenemos el gusto de conectar en esta videollamada con Charlie Drinkwater de TV Priest. Hola, Charlie.
Hola.
How are you?
I'm really well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Where are you right now?
I'm currently waiting. I'm in London, but we're about to do some recording and go into our studio. So I'm just outside. Just a sunny day here, so it's really good.
Having a good spring day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, Charlie, you are a few days away of releasing your latest album, the second in the TV Priest career. I read that you have to make a very intense and deep criticism, analysis about your first record in order to make this second record. What happened in between the two of them?
I think it was like everything, really. I think, we were obviously going through the pandemic, which was really intense. And, I think probably quite a similar experience that a lot of people were having. So we were not really, we weren't really connected to each other that much. I was spending a lot of time on my own. There was a bit of a kind of personal and family kind of tragedy that happened at the time. And I think it was just a lot of things that kind of built on top of each other and not to make too big a point of it, because I think, I use making music and making art as a way to process this stuff. But it was the first time in my life that I was working with, the guys who were my best friends, and we were, I wouldn't say there was tension, but I wasn't going through the process in a kind of easy way, if you know what I mean. And it made for quite a difficult personal relationship with each other sometimes. I wasn't bringing the best of energies, if you know what I mean. And I think that in a kind of weird way also kind of helped the music though, because I think, we've made a record that's quite, for me at least, is very honest and really charts a period of my life and a period of time for me that I was struggling with. And I think, maybe not now. I don't know if I've listened to it. I haven't got enough distance to listen to it yet.
Yes, I have, and I found a very intense album because I also read that you said that this album is more easy to listen, that you want to make easy lyrics, but I really found very emotional lyrics, intense music. I love it.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I think probably in terms of like some of the sounds, like it's a less like over punk record, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
But I think in terms of what we've done as songwriters and writers, maybe lyrically actually the themes are maybe more difficult to process. It's a lot more inward looking and maybe a lot more questioning of who I am and what I'm about than maybe the last record was. So thank you for picking up on that.
Sometimes it's a little hard to take a look inside our own, because most of the things we found inside us are not that good, they're not that cool.
Yeah.
It was that part of the process of making this record, to take a look inside you.
100%. I think as a person getting older as well, like, sometimes you've got to confront your own opinion of yourself, or your own way you approach relationships or approach situations. That was a big part of it for me as well, was about, okay, how do I speak truthfully about this stuff, even if it is kind of painful. So I agree. And sometimes it's not the best stuff that you find,
I know. But it's a way to redeem yourself, right? To find redemption in order to be better person. When you cease this relation with your own demons, you find new ways.
No, I 100% agree. I think, and I think it was important for me to do it, and important for me to kind of go through it, even though it was painful. Maybe art shouldn't be kind of. One thing I do hope is that the record also speaks to a wider universal kind of nature than it's obviously centered on me, but I did try and make sure that I was writing from a pace that other people can relate to it as well, and other people can appreciate those feelings and maybe offer a level of kind of say to other people that you're not just going through this as well. That's my hope, that actually, even though it's a record that's quite personal, it can hopefully become something that's also about community and can live outside of me,
So Charlie, what can you tell us about the process of making the album? Where did you record these songs? Who do you work with?
Well, we did it all ourselves again. So the first record we wrote and recorded and produced ourselves. And the same here, this time we were able to Nick, our bassist, and he's our amazing producer. We got a slightly larger space this time, again in London, near to where our last studio was, which was very, very small. And we kind of fitted it out and built it ourselves and kind of worked away like that. I think really it was the only way that we could do it, to be honest, because it was kind of in the middle of the end of the last lockdown in London. And we could kind of see each other because we were in a group of people working with each other and in a kind of bubble of people. And actually, in a way, I would also say we're so lucky for that, because it was this one moment of like human connection outside of like my home life that kind of really kept me balanced and really kept me kind of sane. So yeah, we were there, and yeah, it was pretty quick to come about, really. Like we probably started working on it. Uppers, I think, was released in February last year, and we kind of started working on it like April last year. We really wanted to kind of make sure that we were back in doing our thing,
I think it's amazing that a lot of artists, a lot of musicians have made a new record, a new EP during the pandemic, even with the lockdowns and the restrictions. There's a lot of creativity in there.
Yeah, I think it was also kind of forces you, doesn't it? Like to reassess like what it is you're making art for, and sometimes, with the absence of an audience sometimes, or with the absence of a kind of expectation as to being like, what it's about, and who's this for, you just kind of do it. And I think that was really nice. It was kind of reacquainting myself with the reasons as to why I actually make art,
Yes. Charlie, you will release the album on June 22, correct?
Yeah, I think it's maybe June 17th. You might know better. You might know better than me, though. I don't know.
Sorry, because I have the 2 dates. On June 17 through Sub Pop, you will release My Other People. It's an amazing title because, as all that you said, you find the personal relationships, your family and your friends. It's that people, right?
Yeah, 100%. I think that was what the title was. And it's also a kind of, I suppose, a bit of a double meaning in the sense that it's also the different people that I am sometimes, and the kind of weight of responsibility I feel about being a father and an artist and a musician and going to work and just living, So it kind of hopefully touches on both.
And you will release My Other People through Sub Pop Records. How was working with them?
Amazing, it was a dream come true to sign to the label for the first record, and yeah, I mean they're one of my favorite ever labels. I can't. It was a bit of a pinch yourself moment when we got the deal through. It was yeah, I still can't believe it, really. My teenage version of me is still inside me going, oh my God, how did you do this?
I know, because when you read all the artists that Sub Pop has, and you find the name of your band, I think that's an amazing feeling.
Yeah, 100%. It's just to see yourself next to some of those people. It's like, it's crazy. I can die a happy man.
So, Charlie, you will release My Other People on June 17. Just to start the summer, we can listen to the album.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've got a nice heavy bit of emotional rock music to start the summer.
And you will play a lot in the summer, right? In the autumn.
Yeah, we're playing a lot of festivals, a lot of European dates. We've got some US, North American dates coming up as well. So, you know, hopefully we'll be with you guys soon.
But yes, exactly. When will you come to Mexico?
Fingers crossed. Nothing planned just yet, but I'm working on it. I'm pushing our managers all the time.
I hope you can make it, because there's a lot of connection between Mexican audience and UK bands. Not only nowadays, but historically, there's a lot of an amazing connection, and I hope you can leave it on the stage in front of the Mexican audience.
Man, absolute dream. I promise we'll get there one day.
Absolutely. And in the meantime, we will listen My Other People, June 17. You will release it also in vinyl, in CD, right?
Yeah, it's vinyl, CD, a couple of different formats, different colors. I worked on the artwork alongside Sub Pop and a photographer as well. So yeah.
Because in a public album, when you listen through physical format, like a vinyl, you found a lot of things about the concept of an album, the narrative of an album, that you find that you want to say as a musician, and you can only find it through a physical format.
I agree. I think having that physical format, looking at it, experiencing it in a physical way, I mean, is why I fell in love with music in the first place, was going through my dad and my uncle's record collections and looking at stuff and going, what's this? And who did the artwork and who did the production and who played this instrument? So yeah, I maybe I'm old school like that, but yeah, for me it's that's where it's at.
It's for music lovers, I guess, not only about age, but for music lovers.
Yeah, 100%.
And in June, we can have your new record on our collection.
Yeah, exactly.
So looking forward to have the release of My Other People, the second album of TV Priest, and looking forward to see you here live in Mexico.
Yeah, me too. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat to us and listen to the record and experience it.
It's amazing. Congratulations on the album. Sounds amazing. Love the lyrics. And Charlie from TV Priest, thank you so much for this chat with Rutas Alternas.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Plataforma de información musical y radio online. Rutas Alternas. Escucha.